Fantasy football start or sit for week 5 in the NFL. We're going to take you around to every single matchup in week 5 and give you some advice on start or sit as well. We'll answer some questions from the Discord, start or sit. If you do want to get into the Discord, comment below. We'll get you the link as well. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like. Comment with your start sit questions. Happy to answer them. Put Jared through the ringer this morning. We had a lot of comments, on our buy low, sell high. So happy to answer them. We'll answer every single one. And as you can tell, the crew has expanded. Sandy really enjoyed himself earlier this week, so he wanted to come back. Did we have an option? Do we have a choice?
No.
I actually just invited myself to the show, but again, pleasure being on with you guys. Let's get into it.
So let's start with Thursday. I think Thursday is a really important one for people who just were on the waiver wire from a waiver wire show. Alex Collins, I mentioned him as being an ad. I didn't think Chris Carson wouldn't practice yesterday, so that makes things a lot more interesting. And I do have some questions here from our start sit on Alex Collins, if he is playing and who you'd be starting him over. But let's start with, I think a lot of these are, the Seahawks side is pretty obvious.
Yeah.
You know, your Tyler Lockett's, your DK Metcalf's, your Russell Wilson, and then whoever's starting at running back you can play for a Seahawks team that likes to run the football, right?
Yeah, for sure. If Chris Carson's in there, probably play him still. And then if he's not, obviously Alex Collins becomes the guy.
Where do you slot him? Because I can't remember where I had him in my rankings, but like
Alex Collins?
No, Chris Carson. I'm saying if he's playing, I think he might turn into a back end RB2 on the week.
Yeah, I'd probably put him out just outside the top 24 to be honest.
Yeah, the Rams are bad.
I'm thinking of some of the guys you put in the back of their 24, like Clyde had 100% play over Chris Carson.
Right. The Rams are pretty bad against the run. I think they're bottom 4 in opponent yards per carry.
Chase Edmonds cooked them last week.
I was going to say, 20 yards for him.
Rams side of things, are you confident playing Robert Woods this week?
Yeah, Sean McVay said he's going to do a better job of getting on the ball. I saw a quote from that.
I did see that too. Yeah,
I think it means nothing. It's coach talk. Yeah. Like you can't really take that. Like, what are you going to say if somebody asks you about Robert Woods? Oh yeah, we don't want to involve him very much in the offense anymore. You have Van Jefferson or you have Robert Woods. Who are you starting? It'd be hard to start either of them, honestly. Sure,
like
but
to me,
Robert Woods.
Robert
Woods is like the same as Allen Robinson.
The Seahawks are a terrible pass defense. This is a good spot for Rams pass catchers.
Yeah,
Kupp is absolutely dominant. He has like a 30+% target share, but I think you can play either one of them. Honestly, like Van Jefferson is running the same amount of routes that Woods is. He has a higher average depth of target, so you're getting more big plays. So I'm fine playing either one because the Seahawks defense has been brutal. But again, this is a divisional matchup, and then I could be completely wrong. And they score like 34 points in this game.
Yeah. They got shit pumped last week by the Cardinals. I don't think they come flat 2 weeks in a row.
No.
Well, Seattle beat the 49ers, and then now the Rams are in a bounce back spot. So I think any Rams player, wide receiver, you can run with this week.
Yeah, Stafford, I think I had in my top 6 for quarterbacks on the week. So he's now a weekly start, right?
Yeah.
We had him as a fringe guy to start the year, but he's definitely a weekly start. We're heading down to, he didn't have a good accent for me. Do you have a good British accent for me?
No.
Don't ask me. I'm not your guy for that.
Speak like a roadman. So you hit it there, Tmack.
No, I don't have one. The Jets and the Falcons get together at the Wembley Stadium at 9:30 a.m. Eastern.
Playing real football.
Playing some real football on the pitch.
Yeah.
Out on the pitch. Jets side of things, it's a great matchup. I'm still, if I'm in a 2 QB league and I had Zach Wilson as my third guy, I still would have to be pretty desperate to play him in this game. But Corey Davis is a start. Based on Elijah Moore's status, if you're desperate, you could play Jamison Crowder.
I like it.
I'm just worried because it's London. I feel like London games,
things get wacky.
It's always one-sided, I feel like, those games, too. Yeah. So, and the Jets, we know what's happened to them this year.
Yeah, I doubt the Jets absolutely demolish the Falcons. I don't think they can demolish anyone.
I was desperate in one of my leagues and played Michael Carter because I had Christian McCaffrey out, and that was okay because he scored. Yeah. But can you go back to the well on him? Because Tevin Coleman was all over the field in the 4th. So I would avoid Michael Carter this week, even though it is a good matchup. For some reason, Coleman was out there plenty. I'm going to pull it up just to get numbers on it, but he was out there a lot. Anything Falcon side you guys want to touch on?
No, I'll talk Elijah Moore because that's what we like to do here. It'd be really fitting if his only great game this year was in England. So it's just like we look back at the stats, it's like
nobody saw it.
Yeah,
it didn't happen.
Exactly. So this would be the week where it happens probably.
Falcon side, Jared?
Falcon side, Kyle Pitts has been kind of disappointing. but I think you still have to start him. Like if you drafted him where you did, you likely can't.
4th round.
You likely can't put anyone else in there. Ridley, obviously, but then Cordero Patterson.
Oh my God.
Start him until he busts. Yeah. That's not my philosophy with Patterson.
Yeah.
So as long as he keeps producing, keep putting him in there.
Yeah. So now I'm looking at it. Coleman wasn't out there that much. It was overall 18%, and Michael Carter was up to 51% in that game. So 57% of
Carter's taking
attempts.
A bit more every week, it seems.
Yeah, look, it is good to see there, but it was down a little bit from week 3. But again, I probably wouldn't play Carter. I don't know.
It'd be tough to. He's a desperate play.
Patriots, Texans. I do have Damian Harris as one of my top running backs in the week, so I'm definitely starting him if I have him. Jacoby Myers.
To start him. He's like a weekly start now for me.
Mm-hmm.
He just gets way too many targets.
He had like 12 targets last game.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a great play last week, so got to start him for sure.
I don't even know what else to talk about from this game. Like,
I mean,
I'm
who
not,
you get? What
on
what
the Texans side? The only one you.
That's what I was just gonna say. Yeah, like I'm not playing either.
Yeah, I wouldn't
like Jonnu was like 17 snaps. Hunter Henry was close to 30, but Henry just isn't really a guy that Mac Jones looks to often enough. Both of these guys are really touchdown dependent, but if Jonnu Smith gets to like 25 routes run, then I'm excited. Then he's probably on your wire, and I'm going to tell you to go pick him up. But until then, I probably leave him alone. Texans side, Brandon Cooks.
It's literally just Brandon Cooks. Have we ever seen a team have just one guy who you would even consider starting?
I mean, they're
that bad.
They lost 41-0 last week.
Yeah,
Davis Mills almost had more interceptions than he had passing yards in the first half. Like
Corey Davis was kind of that guy to start like so far through the year. That's and there's been other teams.
But at least with the Jets, like you consider some other guys. With the Texans, like you just can't consider anyone else.
The difference here with Cooks is that he's actually a good play. He's not like you can play him. He's a start him.
Yeah, you're starting.
Yeah, don't even think about it. Saints football team.
Well, yeah, just think about the Saints. It's been only fucking Alvin Kamara pretty much all year, right?
Is this a get right spot though for the passing offense against the football team?
You're talking about the football team, but the Saints have been good 1 week, shitty 1 week, good 1 week, shitty 1 week.
Yeah, but I mean, is this a get right spot for their passing offense?
Yeah, Jameis Winston.
I think so.
Like
I like the football team here if I'm taking a look at the line, whatever it is, but.
Yeah, I think.
I already put that in my sharp.
What was the line?
plus 1.5 for the football team at home.
Jesus Christ!
Taylor Heineke's been. I know this obviously he's a big guy right now. He's been playing unreal the last few weeks.
Yeah, he's actually been good.
Terry McLaurin.
He could just be better than Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Is it his team though? Like it sounded like it's his team.
I can see it.
They have enough of the same playbook, the same skill set that it doesn't really matter once they change. So
yeah.
I feel like they're giving them the same playbook.
Logan Thomas is out probably. So does that mean Curtis Samuel becomes a start?
Gosh, I didn't even consider that.
He had like 2 targets last week, right?
Samuel?
I think, or 2 catches.
I don't think he did much.
No.
He only played like 30% of snaps.
Thomas's injury is going to be for a bit, right?
I think it was a hamstring injury. So it's one of those that's probably like a couple weeks.
I would wait. I bet you I'm wrong about this because maybe he is like really involved, but I'd probably wait. I probably wouldn't be willing to put myself on the line
until we see like 70% like on the field. I'm fine to wait on Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
What about J.D. McKissic? Is he a desperate flex play?
The numbers for him weren't really there. I know you see that big play on that touchdown, but the numbers really weren't there.
He had 15 points, right?
Yeah, he had like 5 catches. I might be wrong on that too, but you could check that. But
he was targets. So if I'm looking at last week, he was at a 40% snap share, which is all right, but it's solid. Down from the last couple of weeks. And then the routes run are down. Like it's still trending down for him. It's still an 11% target share. I don't know.
I mean, the touchdown that he made a big play on, he was blocking on the play to start, and he just slipped through. It's not like he was getting the ball. He wasn't the focus of that play. Yeah. It was like the play broke down, and that's how he got the ball, right?
Yeah.
I think him and Nyheim Hines are like the exact same in terms of how confident I am starting them.
Yeah.
Nyheim had a tough week last week.
I'd rather not start. Like they're guys that you probably shouldn't see on your wire, but at the same time they're tough to play.
Yeah.
Dolphins Bucks. Let's start with the Dolphins. Mike Gesicki, just keep starting him. I know I didn't like him during the season.
Bucks secondary is so banged up too.
Yeah. Brissett just loves Gesicki. He's getting tremendous volume. Will Fuller is out.
So
that
guy can't stay on the field.
He's back on his bullshit.
I'm probably I have a because one of my leagues goes back to waivers. It's not just free for all right now. I do have a claim on someone to drop dropping Will Fuller.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't really want to put up.
Why
with
is he
it.
off the field?
He injured his finger.
Yeah, broken finger. So Jalen Waddle, I think you can play in a flex.
I'm willing to start Waddle or Parker.
I think Parker too.
Parker had a good
Parker had great volume too. It just, I feel like it's still hard to predict there. I don't think there's really any rhyme or reason why Devontae Parker was the guy, happened to be the guy last week. Buck side of things.
Everyone. Start them all.
What do you think about Antonio Brown? His routes were down. He made, or there were 2 drops, I think, of one in the end zone that really, I think, might be bothersome for Brady. I'm not saying that, he's going to be, all of a sudden, his usage is going to go way down because he had the chance to have a big game fantasy-wise, but his snaps were down. So I'm a little bit worried about being able to just trot him out there each and every week.
I threw him in a lineup already on OwnersBox.
Yeah, bounce back spot.
Brady and Antonio Brown, I put him in.
Yeah, and like his big play upside is just worth it because Brady's going to give it to him like a few deep balls a game. So I think that's enough to just throw him in there.
Right.
It's a flex play.
Right. What about Leonard Fournette? Would you play Leonard Fournette or would you play Antonio Brown?
I'd play Leonard Fournette probably.
I think I'd go Fournette too.
I would take AB.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
Fournette just has the volume. He's getting more each week with Rojo just sucking.
Yeah, and this is a game that I think that they'll kind of take care of business in, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to Lions and Vikings. What do you guys think of these 2 quarterbacks this week?
Kirk Cousins, huge bounce back spot. He did horrible. They had a horrible
You'd think so, yeah.
But does he stick out beyond, let me go to a few that we haven't talked about yet, but let's just say, does he stick out more than Trevor Lawrence or Joe Burrow? Would you start Cousins over those 2?
Yeah, I would.
You'd start Cousins over both those 2?
Start Cousins over both.
How about Sam Darnold?
I'd go Darnold. Darnold's just been too good.
Rushing.
He's leading the league in rushing touchdowns.
Too many touchdowns rushing for me.
Okay. Maybe Trey Lance.
Trey Lance for sure. I'd go Trey Lance over all of them.
All right. So I think we have an idea of what you'd be doing with Kirk Cousins. But, we have a divisional matchup here. I think that the Vikings, in terms of Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, we know, Dalvin Cook, anything, KJ Osborne, Tyler Conklin-wise that entices you this week?
No.
I don't see, unless you're really desperate, I wouldn't see any reason to start them.
Yeah. Okay. Lions side of things, TJ Hawkinson is an obvious start. I'm not looking at really anyone else wide receiver wise.
Oh yeah.
Wide receiver wise, like Raymond, all of a sudden was a huge week. Cephas has kind of slowed down a bit. Amon St. Brown, 70 yards, 6 receptions.
I knew that was
a good game from him, but I wouldn't be looking to pick him up or start him. Swift, you can play. Jamal Williams is a tough one to. He's kind of they're running the ball with him.
Double-digit carries again last week.
Yeah. He had a lot of carries, but his snaps are going down.
You were frustrated. I was watching that game with him last week, and he kept every time Jamal Williams got the ball, it's just like fuck, man. But Swift will get his targets, for sure. So
everything but the carries looked really good last week, numbers wise for Swift.
Yeah. So Packers Bengals now. I think both quarterbacks are good starts. I'm playing Joe Burrow over Kirk Cousins this week. I like Joe a lot this week against the Packers defense.
Packers secondary very banged up this week.
Yeah.
Jair might not play.
That's
big for Jamar.
They said if he's going to play, it's going to be in like some brace or something too. That can't be too comfortable.
Either way, Packers defense is banged up. Joe Burrow on the spot. Bengals receivers must start them all.
T. Higgins is back.
He is going to be back?
Yeah.
Start T. Higgins.
Because he was going to play this past week if it was a Sunday game instead of a Thursday game.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's why we said we thought he probably wouldn't play just because of the injury there.
T. Higgins not playing was pretty much the whole reason Uzomah was good, I think, this week.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
You put him back in, and it's like Uzomah's just, the value's gone.
Yeah, you can't play Uzomah after that.
Yeah. What about Tyler Boyd?
I'd play him.
He had a lot of action last week.
He just still gets volume. Yeah. Like he's a decent flex play if you really need somebody. I would never feel happy starting him though.
He's almost like
feels dirty.
Yeah, he feels dirty.
Yeah.
But he's like almost Jacoby Myers, and he probably has more like touchdown upside because it's a better offense.
But Jacoby Myers is just a bigger target share of the offense.
Yes, for sure. But at the same time, the passing volume is higher in Cincinnati.
Yeah, you have to do a lot less work if you just get a touchdown for fantasy points, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You don't need all the volume.
Packers side with Valdez Scantling out. Al Lazard did kind of take over as the 2. Like, I'm not considering Randall Cobb as someone, if I happen to pick him up, as someone I would play. He's definitely more of a OwnersBox or DFS type of guy that you'd look at. I wouldn't look at him in your season long lineups. Look, I think Robert Tonyan is one of the better buy low candidates on the season. He's still out there, still running routes. The tight ends in this range are touchdown dependent. That's just what it is. So look, hang tight with Robert Tonyan, and I'm not afraid to play him this week against the Bengals. That's what I would say on him.
Rodgers missed him like so vertical last week. At least it was 40+ yard touchdown.
Rodgers so washed.
Jared loved it. It was like candy for him. I hated it, but yeah, Tonyan, hold on to him. Definitely some upside.
Anything else, like A.J. Dillon wise even?
No. Like, he doesn't have any upside until Aaron Jones goes down.
Yeah, he's
happens.
Definitely a great guy to have on your bench. I would definitely want him on your bench.
Yeah.
Broncos Steelers. We're looking at Drew. It's Drew Lock season. So
we don't know about that though, right? There's a chance that Teddy plays.
Is there?
I'll look.
He has been getting a lot of concussions in his career, so I feel like it'd be hard for him to come back immediately and start.
Yeah, but you just got to get through that
concussion protocol.
Avery MD over here.
I think I saw some shit that he might be able to play, but Drew Lock takes away everyone's fucking fantasy value on that team. Like Tim Patrick, I'm worried about right away as soon as that happens.
Yeah.
Without Teddy. I mean, Tmack's just watching the highlights
I
there.
And I'm trying to see what we have here.
I don't mind Sutton still because Locke does like to just throw the ball downfield.
I guess Tim at the end of the game, he just threw it. It was literally a prayer. And it was
I might be wrong. I guess Tim Patrick was kind of fantasy relevant last year with Drew Lock as his quarterback. So.
Sutton?
No, and Tim Patrick.
Patrick.
Oh, really?
He had like 6 touchdowns last year.
He had 6 touchdowns, 700 yards.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, but running back wise, I mean, the game plan doesn't change that much, right?
It's still hard to start either Gordon or Javonte Williams.
I'm going to try not to. This is still a matchup against the Steelers defense that is very good. And the way the Steelers are moving the ball on offense, this game could get so ugly. Like, this could be one of the games that are hard to watch on the week, and I just see this being slow moving. So I probably try to avoid. I'm not going to play anyone but Noah Fant and Courtland Sutton.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm not too optimistic about Courtland Sutton on the week. But Steelers side of things, let's just move there.
There's so many injuries.
I'm going to likely, if I can, sit Chase Claypool right now moving forward.
Is he confirmed? I know he was questionable.
He might
play last week. There's a chance he plays, but it's just like this isn't the quarterback that's going to help him.
Roethlisberger's
offensive line just isn't in a spot to be able to make those, give Ben enough time for some big plays.
It's crazy how this season has worked out for the Steelers, The whole offensive line shit that we knew
we said was going to happen
on draft day, where we were just like, "Oh, why did they do that?"
This was dumb. Yeah,
it's literally just Deontay Johnson, Najee Harris. Everybody else you can't start.
Yeah, to me, I would almost trade Chase Claypool for Juju Smith-Schuster.
Really? Wow.
That's how bad things are going there, because Juju's got great volume. Juju has Tyler Boyd, Jacoby Myers volume. We can't even deny that at this point, right?
Yeah.
But again, Mr. 2 yard. He's Mr. 2 yard route. Right?
Yeah.
He doesn't really get off the line.
I don't know. I would never feel comfortable starting Juju.
I think in this matchup I wouldn't, but I think you really, honestly, you can. I hate that I think we were wrong on this, but I do think we were wrong. Chase Claypool, Juju Smith-Schuster, just because of all the pure volume and the way this offense looks. Let's go to Titans and Jaguars. I want to start with Ryan Tannehill in terms of, if he's missing both of his wide receivers, this is a great matchup for him in terms of the opponent defensively. So if he's missing those 2 guys, do you think you can still play him on this week?
I wouldn't hate it, but I also would look for other options. Like, I would go Trevor Lawrence over him, I think.
Okay, you would go Trey Lance over him then?
Yeah, 100%.
Would you go Kirk Cousins over him?
Yes.
Yes, for sure.
Yes.
Joe Burrow?
Yes.
Okay, so you really shouldn't be starting him in one.
In one quarterback leagues, definitely don't start him. I'm thinking more super flex wise.
I have Tannehill in a
wall. If you have Ryan Tannehill in a super flex league, there's no way you'd be benching him.
Why? In one of mine, I have Sam Darnold, Ryan Tannehill, and Josh Allen.
Okay, well,
Jesus.
Credit to you. Good job.
Good draft.
The team is that the team that you're 0-4?
No. One and 3.
1 and 3. 1 and 3. Not going good in that league for Jared. Anything we can mention other than, like, if Julio Jones, if one of those 2 are playing, even if they're not 100%, I'm playing them. If both of them are playing, then I probably still have to play both of them, but that might worry me a bit. But yeah, I think otherwise I'm not playing any Titans pass catchers. Like, it's just Derrick Henry.
Yeah, you can't.
Jag side of things, with DJ Chark out last week, Laviska Shenault had plenty of work. I can probably, if I picked him up, I'm probably not feeling bad if I had to play him in a flex. We'll get to some.
So Laviska or Chase Claypool?
I'd go Viska this week.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Viska's season saved by DJ Chark getting injured.
Marvin Jones is a weekly flex play for me too. James Robinson, of course. Trevor Lawrence has got some upside this week against the Titans.
Yeah.
Even Zach Wilson had a good fantasy. I had him in one of my OwnersBox lineups. He had a decent day for me, so I think Trevor Lawrence can do that as well. Eagles, Panthers. I don't know where to go with this. Like, Robbie Anderson saw great volume. He saw 11 targets, but he only had 5 receptions. And what do you have? 50 yards?
40 yards.
Yeah. And a matchup against the Eagles, I don't hate it, but I think there are better options out there. I think like Laviska Shenault, Marvin Jones, those guys we mentioned. I'd probably still play Chase Claypool over him at this point.
Yeah, I'd have to be so desperate to start Robbie Anderson.
Yeah. Chuba Hubbard, you can, of course, play in a matchup against the Eagles. The Eagles' run defense has looked terrible the last couple of weeks after we thought it was good.
Yeah.
Anything else really, Panthers side?
What are you doing? Do you risk it, Kenneth Gainwell, this week? I think there's no chance because of the Panthers.
Yeah, no.
They kind of cut up the Panthers D, though.
I wouldn't want to start either Miles Sanders or
Miles Sanders.
Okay, so you have Nyheim Hines, J.D. McKissick, Kenneth Gainwell. Who do you start?
Kenneth Gainwell. Yeah, all day.
Yeah.
Gainwell's a better play than those two. And honestly, like, what if you had Miles Sanders and Kenneth Gainwell? Who are you starting?
I was in this debacle last week with you, and you made me switch to Gainwell, which is the call. But I don't know.
I try to sell my team to somebody else because I drafted Miles Sanders and hit myself. I'm kicking myself because I didn't listen to the show and I drafted Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
Right? Eagles side, I don't love Hurts this week. I like Joe Burrow more than I like Hurts this week.
Really?
Yeah, I think this is a tough matchup for them altogether. Hurts has the rushing upside, but I'm just really high on Burrow this week. Otherwise, your Trevor Lawrence, your Kirk Cousins, I'm still going Hurts over. But I do think he's like a back-end QB1 this week in a tough matchup. Devontae Smith is a weekly start. I love Devontae Smith and the volume he's got. Tight end position, like Dallas Goedert, where you took him, you're probably playing him.
I honestly wouldn't even mind Zach Ertz that much.
No chance.
You don't think so? He's getting some decent volume.
I know, but I can't. I can't in good conscience play the second tight end on
Zach
the
Ertz
Eagles.
Or Hunter Henry. Who are you starting?
Zach Ertz.
Hunter Henry.
I'm leaning Ertz.
I mean, I hope I'm not making that decision because Ertz and Henry are probably on everybody's wire right now.
Hunter Henry probably not. I don't think so.
Uzama or Ertz?
Against the Packers this week, Uzama.
I think Ertz too. Yeah.
You guys really think this about Ertz?
I don't like. It's not like
I'd
I'm
rather
super
have
high on
Uzama
him
this week
but
than Ertz.
he's getting volume. Like, you can't deny that.
Hooper or Ertz?
Ertz for sure.
Hooper's
not getting anything.
I'm not where you guys are on this. But that's fine. I'm usually right on these things, right?
Really?
Yes. Proven to be right on a lot of these things. Eagles, that's kind of it there. Let's go to Bears Raiders. I think it's going to be Andy Dalton back, right? So that's going to suck.
I would hate to see that.
We got really
good for Allen Robinson.
Good for Allen Robinson, yes.
Allen Robinson is a big one to talk about because I'm benching him in all my leagues I have him. He's on the bench now.
I'm playing him. This is a good matchup.
There was a good matchup last week too, and he did nothing.
Okay, but Darnell Mooney was the one that
90 yards. Darnell Mooney had like 90 yards.
Oh, he had 125.
No, in like the first quarter.
Oh, yeah.
In the
A
first
couple
quarter,
passes, yeah. I'm playing Allen Robinson. Yeah.
In the two leagues I have him, I'm starting Devonta Smith over him in one, and I'm starting Elijah Mitchell over him in the other, because assuming he plays. Would you guys say keep Allen Robinson in either of those, or
I don't know.
The guys I'm replacing?
Wasn't game one Andy Dalton played? He had like 11 targets.
He's never had over 10 fantasy points.
No, yeah, we know I know he's struggling. I know he's not producing, but I do think that, if you have those, I'd probably play those guys over him. Yeah. But you're also giving me Devontae Smith. Who do you have? Where do you have Devontae Smith ranked on the week?
Probably around 25.
Yeah. So this is like a in that range, those guys are like a weekly start.
Yeah.
Right? I get what you're saying, though, but I think Allen Robinson, you can still play. This
like
is a good
Jacoby
matchup.
Myers or Allen Robinson, who would you start?
I'd start Allen Robinson.
Really? I'd go Myers. I can't do it with Allen Robinson.
I just drafted Allen Robinson too high. I did not play him, I feel like.
Yeah. That's it on the Bears. Oh, Damian Williams.
Yeah.
Start him.
Yeah. I had him inside the top 24 this week, so I like Damian Williams on the week. But he's going to just take over Montgomery's role completely.
Yes.
Raiders side, I'm sorry what I said about Bryan Edwards.
Usually right
the
about
dude's
these
a
things,
waste.
right?
Well, start sit. That was not a start sit thing. That was a waiver wire thing. Yeah. Ruggs.
Do we start Ruggs?
Ruggs is like
deep shots.
Is a play. Like Ruggs is a consistent play. It seems like
he has upside.
If you're kind of playing it safe at other positions, if you're what's a good example of someone that's say Jacoby Myers or
a Damian Williams.
Damian Williams or like a Laviska Shenault. If you have one of those guys at your wide receiver position, throw Ruggs into your flex as someone with some really high upside because the targets are there. What people were excited about when he was drafted last year is kind of coming to fruition with this team.
Yeah.
Waller, of course. Hunter Renfro's a really desperate play.
Running backs are both sits, and no matter who the running back is, sit.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree on that. Browns, Chargers. The Chargers offense was, a little bit in terms of the big guys weren't really looked to as much. It was Jared Cook and it was Donald Parham touchdown and Austin Eckler. Nothing to worry about there. Just kind of the game script, divisional matchup. We kind of talked about this before that it might be a little bit more low scoring with the divisional matchup.
Don't be worried about Mike Williams. He'll be back this week.
Yeah, we'll be fine there. Jared Cook to me is just if you kind of punted the tight end position and you picked him up off the wire, you had it with one of your late picks. Just keep starting him. Just keep starting him. Brown side of things, the Odell Baker thing is just like the chemistry still isn't there.
Odell is ruining the Browns.
They're still not on the same page.
I don't know. I didn't see them, but I heard a lot on Twitter that Baker just missed Odell on a lot of
he missed him at the end of the game, like a fade ball, like a 9-ball down the field.
They're just the connection just hasn't come together.
Yeah.
I have a couple in the start sit at the end here that'll go between Odell and a few guys. We can play both the running backs for the Browns, of course. Chubb, Hunt. This is a good matchup. The Chargers' run defense is poor. I mentioned before the absences of Justin Jones and Kenneth Murray. Anything else there? Like, is Baker a play?
No,
I don't think so.
Definitely not.
Brandon Staley's a defensive mastermind.
He's a defensive-minded coach, yeah. I'd say that.
Yeah, that's about it on that side of things. So let's go to 49ers and Cardinals. The Cardinals have been really bad against the run. So I think whoever is starting
I think Elijah Mitchell will be back.
So if it's Mitchell, we can start him.
I think it's the only running back I want to play for the Niners.
Like if he's not there, I don't know if I'd even want to start Trey Sermon.
Why not?
Juszczyk had like 81% of snaps he was on the field for.
They just don't trust Sermon enough.
Well, he still had 18 carries.
Yeah.
The Cardinals are like one of the worst teams in yards per attempt against the run. You wouldn't want to play a running back in this offense?
I guess it depends on who I've got around him. But I don't know. Like, would you go Trey Sermon or Damian Williams?
Damian Williams.
I'd take Damian too.
I would go Trey Sermon. As of course, assuming that he's by himself.
In good conscience, I can't play Trey Sermon.
Yeah. I would do Damian Williams against the Lions, taking that starting role. So
he's not playing the Lions.
He's playing. They played them last week.
They played them last week.
Oh shit!
So
my bad.
So Juszczyk had no rushing attempts.
Last week he had none?
Yeah, 73% of rushing attempts were Trey Sermon.
Who got the other percentage?
I would assume it's Josh Patrick, but I'd have to go back and look.
Yeah, I remember him getting some.
So, I mean, if against this Cardinals defense, I think it's a good start, regardless of who the back is. But
it's fair. It's fair.
I'm starting AJ Green. I hate to say it. I think I'm playing him.
You can play him. This is the same of like if you want to play AJ Green and you have Ruggs too, we go Green and Ruggs if we play them both to kind of ones.
Still on the Niners, actually. I shouldn't have gone over. But Ayuk, what are we doing with him?
Bench him.
Yeah.
Sad to say.
He's behind in routes with Debo and Kittle too. So
Even Kittle hasn't been doing well. It's like just Debo.
Yep.
Kittle's been
so disappointing. Yeah.
But
Trey Lance, if he's starting, he's a good play. I think I have him at QB 7 or 8 on the week. Something like that.
Definitely start Trey Lance if you got him.
Cardinals side of things, you mentioned AJ Green, Chase Edmonds is a play.
Rondell Moore.
Nope, no chance. Christian Kirk, no thank you. DeAndre Hopkins, and then you can consider AJ Green. I did say all these guys should be rostered, but it is difficult to give you because Kirk and Moore are flyer plays, which is they're both in the slot, but they are the flyer plays in terms of their speed and their tackle breaking ability. But Green is just a consistent guy in terms of targets and always on the field, so he just kind of takes away from those two guys being able to say to yourself that I think this is the week. It's hard to predict.
I think James Conner's the same. I don't want to start him. No. Don't feel like he's got 4 touchdowns in the past 2 weeks. Got to start him. No, he's still just completely touchdown reliant.
I've never played him. I have him on my bench, and I've never played him.
Back-to-back 2 TD games. I don't think that's going to hold up.
Yeah, it's not.
Way. Giants and Cowboys. We got a divisional matchup in Dallas. I like Daniel Jones this week. I love Kenny Golladay. I really think that Kenny Golladay is someone you should probably target.
Will he have Trayvon Diggs, though?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe Trey Diggs has been great.
That makes me worried.
What's the status of Sterling Shepard? He's on the fence, right?
I think they're both going to be. I think they're both going to be kind of on the fence for a few weeks. I don't think either one of them play, but
they have the same injury, so.
Yeah, and it's one that keeps guys in and out for a while. I get what you're saying about Diggs for sure. If Diggs is in shadow coverage, then that'll be tough. But Kenny Golladay, the veteran that he is, the target share that he's assumed now, I think he can get it done for you. And I had this in some of these start sit questions, but would you start Odell or would you start Kenny Golladay?
Kenny Golladay.
I'd go Odell.
Fair enough. I would probably go Kenny Golladay because I like his volume. We know he's a consistent player when he's on the field.
Yeah.
I think I can kind of guarantee myself 70 yards and 4 receptions from Kenny Golladay on the week. Anything else Giants-wise?
Kadarius Toney.
We talked about him on the long form. How many targets did he have last week, though? He had a good amount.
I think 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I feel like you just want to make sure that you remember that he exists. You're not actually telling anyone to do anything with him.
John Ross.
John Ross is
we'll
back.
Do that. Remember that guy? You're not. What are you telling me?
No, don't start Kadarius Toney unless it's an incredibly deep league.
Great advice.
Don't start him.
Cowboys. Let's go back to the well on Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. It's gonna start happening. I don't know when, but it's going to start.
Start Dalton Schultz though.
Tony Pollard. So Zeke had a big game. He's still getting his usual usage. Nothing really changed. He just didn't really pop. I'll have a couple questions for you guys on Tony Pollard, but he's a tough one to play. He is.
I'd agree. He's kind of just slightly above that J.D. McKissick, Naeem Hines tier for me. I would play him over those guys.
Right.
Maybe you needed an RB2. Maybe one of your running backs got hurt. I wouldn't mind slotting him in there, but I don't think he has that much upside.
Okay. Big one on Sunday, Dave. Big one on Sunday night.
Fucking scared.
Big game.
Chiefs are going to get things on track at home here?
No chance.
Keep it rolling? No.
I mean, they lose. They're going to lose 42-35, so it'll be fine. But
here goes the reverse jinx.
Yeah, there's no way the Chiefs win this
every
game.
Time. Don't trust them.
Fair. I get what you're saying there. I'll start with the Chiefs. Let's start with the Chiefs. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes. I do think Clyde Edwards-Helaire, if you can find a way to put him on your bench this week, I would probably do it. He's my running back 24 on the week. He doesn't
I wouldn't want to do that.
Jared, I'm looking at Jared's face.
We talked about this. We talked about this yesterday. So why are you changing your mind?
It's not like I'm changing my mind. I never thought you should put him on your bench.
Well, I'm not saying you need to bench him. I'm saying if you've got some, if you have Damian Harris, I would start Damian Harris over him, which is a guy that you might typically find on your bench. Cordero Patterson, I would start Cordero Patterson over him.
Why would you bench Clyde, but then say you're fine starting Allen Robinson?
Well, so here's my thing on Clyde is that he's not really involved in the passing game.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying, which is something he needs in a game that I think will be very pass heavy, and that the Chiefs will be. This is going to be competitive. The Chiefs aren't going to have the game script they had the last like last week against the Eagles, where they're able to run the ball because they're leading. And then as well, the Bills' run defense is good, completely different from the Chargers when he had a great game. The Chargers' run defense was terrible. So I just think in this matchup, it's not really going to invite him running the ball. And then on top of that, this is a good run defense. So if he is running the ball, he's not going to be that successful. And they don't use him in the pass game like you'd want them to use him. Like Patrick Mahomes just doesn't dump the ball off. That's not in his nature. He doesn't want to do it. So I don't see a ton of value in Clyde. And we already know the issues of getting into the end zone, which I think will be kind of beneficial in him popping off this week if he were to.
I guess I just think like with where you drafted him, it's hard to bench him. And if that's what you're saying about Allen Robinson, why is it different with Clyde?
Because I believe in Al Robinson's volume, and I think this is a good matchup against the Raiders defense. And I think that with Andy Dalton starting, it's better for him than it is Justin Fields. And
fair.
Allen Robinson has a knack of being reliable and can find the end zone. Where Clyde, it's kind of different. Anything Bills side you want to mention other than Diggs?
I mean, I'd start Emmanuel Sanders.
I'm starting Sanders too.
Yeah,
Cole Beasley, I wouldn't mind starting him either.
Yeah.
Cole Beasley had like 2 targets last week. Before that, he was double digits every game. So.
Would you start Emmanuel Sanders over Allen Robinson?
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Okay. Well, I mean, again, it is a good matchup like this. We could see we're going to see, I think, someone other than Diggs have a big week that maybe they're a top 12 wide receiver if this game goes how a lot of people expect it to, right?
Yeah.
I mentioned this about the running backs for Buffalo yesterday, but I just think that the Bills running backs, you can't predict who it's going to be. It's a hot hand type of situation. They're willing to use them in every single facet of the game. So, if you wanted to start Zach Moss, like I don't think it's a terrible thing, but
I would never want to start either of these guys.
You can just get burned by picking one of these guys is my problem.
I never would have drafted either of them because I kind of just assumed this would be the snenario every week where we don't know who's going to be the guy. Plus the volume's likely low because they just don't run the ball. So
we are seeing whoever it is, we are seeing better fantasy output than I think we thought.
Yeah.
Like on a per game basis, but at the same time, we don't know who it is. So Colts Ravens on Monday night. Anything you guys want to talk about Colts wise other than I
think they're pretty
Taylor?
clear. Yeah. Taylor, Pittman. I'd start Pittman.
That's what I
like. Obviously, Hines is kind of like a desperate play. Everyone else at wide receiver and tight end, I'm benching, just because Wentz is not good.
Not
He's
Pascal,
terrible.
benching Pascal this week for sure.
Pascal's
key
dependent.
Week 1.
Yeah.
Your guy Moali Cox, a couple tuds.
Yeah, love to see it. Maybe tight end 1 this week, but not gonna get my hopes up. No. He is my favorite player.
He's either tight end 1 or tight end 19.
It doesn't matter to me.
Nowhere in between.
No.
Ravens, Latavius Murray. Where do you find him in terms of startability? You would need to be RB0 to be playing Latavius Murray to me.
Yeah, I don't know. This rushing offense hasn't really been the same the past few weeks.
How about Latavius Murray or Javonte Williams?
Latavius Murray.
I'm taking Javonte Williams.
Latavius Murray as well.
I think I'd lean Latavius, but I wouldn't like to start either of them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, of course. No. Maybe give you one more on Latavius Murray.
Do we see Rashad Bateman this week, you think?
I think they're saying he might play. Obviously, don't start him if he does.
That's going to hurt Marquise Brown.
No, it'll hurt Sammy Watkins. Start Marquise Brown.
Definitely hurt Sammy Watkins.
He's Marquise Brown and Mark Andrews, the only pass catchers I'd start there.
Yeah. I want to quickly say we didn't say anything about the Dolphins running backs. Myles Gaskin might be dead, like DEAD, dead. Might be over for him.
Either way, they play the Bucs, so don't start anyone there.
Yeah, of course.
This is the week he gets a touchdown, though. Like
Gaskin,
because of how
kind of try. They've been kind of low key bad though. Yeah.
Only not their rushing defense.
No, their run defense.
Only
their pass defense stinks.
Nobody's even tried to run the ball against them the last 2 weeks.
No, maybe
the Pats didn't try at all.
Maybe the Dolphins are dumb enough to try it this week. Yeah,
mix it up from Brian Flores. He doesn't care about what he saw last week.
No,
but. All right. Well, those are all the matchups on the week. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Oh yeah,
I'll get to that. Start sit decisions.
An early plug-in.
Before I get to start sit, be sure to check out our partners over at Manscaped, the best in male grooming. Be sure to use promo code BOX, 20% off and free shipping with Manscaped. Go check them out. We love Manscaped. Been using them for a while, well before they were sponsored the podcast. So go check out Manscaped. Couple start sit decisions from people in the Discord as well. Some personal ones. I have a personal one for you guys. Tony Pollard, Laviska Shenault, Brandon Ayuk.
Visca.
Shenault.
Yeah, I think I'd lean to Visca as well.
Yeah. This is assuming Alex Collins plays on Thursday or tonight. Alex Collins or Trey Sermon?
Alex Collins.
I think I'd lean Alex Collins too.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. I think you thought I was going to disagree, didn't you? Yeah, I agree. Kenny Golladay or Odell Beckham, we answered that one. Laviska Shenault, Chase Claypool, we answered that. This is a three-way here. Damian Williams, Jacoby Myers, or Javonte Williams. So I'm taking Javonte out of this.
Yeah, he's not definitely. It's between Damian and Jacoby. It depends on if it's half or full PPR.
Full PPR.
Full PPR. I'd go Jacoby. Jacoby for me.
Yeah, I'm in on that. I like that. He hasn't found. I think, does he have a touchdown yet?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah,
I saw something. He hasn't scored a touchdown since 2018.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter before
right,
the game.
I do remember that from last year. Yeah, people were talking about how great he was, but he couldn't score. Max Williams or Robert Tonyan?
Robert Tonyan this week.
We didn't talk about Max Williams. That's our bad there.
See,
his routes just aren't really at a high enough level that I can really trust him if I picked him up. And Tonyan is out there. And I think for both of them, it's good matchups. So I'm going to go with the guy who seems like has more rapport with the quarterback and has done it for people in the past. So I'll go with Tonyan.
Big Bob had like 7 targets last week, only 2 catches for under 20 yards. So I think there's definitely a shot this week there.
Big Bob for me.
Yeah. Okay. What did you say?
That was my question. So I didn't have one. Because I asked this question. Okay. I didn't know which one I wanted to start.
Last one, Damian Williams or Michael Pittman? For me, Damian Williams.
Yeah, Damian Williams.
I don't really fucking know, to be honest.
I'll go with Michael Pittman.
Fuck. I'll go with Michael Pittman too.
All right. Start sit.
Do we have
week 5?
any more that came into the Discord?
Yeah, check the Discord before we wrap up.
Real quick. Okay, no. That's that.
Somebody asked us to start to say questions about their defensive players. No, we don't do defense here.
We don't do those here.
That's Ghost. That was Ghost Reaper, wasn't it? Yeah, that's our guy.
All time.
If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you have start sit decisions as well, comment down below. We're happy to answer them. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.